Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of More Football, Please. I am joined by the head coach of the Abdullah Express, Trent Young. Nah. This week, we will be talking about our potential game breakers, as well as our predictions for the week. Trent.
All right, our first matchup, we have Christian against Cody. For my game breakers, I have Forsett against Jacksonville for Christian. I think that he's looked really bad like the last 2 weeks. I think he's got just over 100 yards between the last two games he's played. He's done okay because of like the catches, and I think he had a touchdown or something. Jacksonville's got a really stout run defense, but I definitely think that Justin Forsett could really break out this week. And then I have Joyke Bell for Cody against Green Bay. They got a new offensive coordinator. I think he's just going to ball out. I hope he doesn't, for the sake of Abdullah. But I definitely can see Joyke Bell just like turning into freaking Eddie Lacy like he used to, and just tearing it up. So I've got Cody winning this game.
With Cody's luck, he will ball out.
Absolutely.
He will ball
Absolutely. Didn't have any luck against me, but everybody else.
out. Christian, Eli Manning is my game breaker for you. The Giants are the only team to constantly have the recipe for beating the Patriots. But for that to happen, Eli needs to play like Tom Brady, which, see if he can do it. I don't know. I'm wearing the big blue for you right now, supporting you. For the Ben Gomez's, Cody, Mark Barron. Apparently, he should be a linebacker, according to you, the amount of tackles he gets. But they're up against Chicago. Chicago can't really run the ball, especially without Forte. So on obvious passing downs, you can throw Mark Barron in the backfield, and he can get a bunch of picks because he's used to playing safety, or he'll be up close on the obvious rundowns. So he'll get a lot of tackles for you, probably get you about 55 points. You'll score about 425, be 9-1. I think Cody's going to win this game.
All right, our next matchup, we got Nico against Ben. And for Nico, I've got Chris Ivory against the Bills. I know that they've got, both teams have, wonderful, fronts and even secondary, some of the best two defensive teams in the league, probably outside of, Seattle. I think Chris Ivory, he's looked very consistent this year. I tried trading Nico for him. It was some BS crap. That was never going to work. But I knew Nico didn't even check his team, so it didn't matter. I think Chris Ivory's going to have a big game tonight. And then I've got, for Ben, Mike Evans against Dallas. He's looked really, really good at times this year. I think Vincent Jackson just isn't going to do anything. So I think they're just going to just bomb Mike Evans with targets, and he's just going to tear it up, and it's going to be a shootout. I think Dez has a good week. But anyhow, I got Ben winning this game this week.
That's a name you haven't heard a lot of, Vincent Jackson, this year. I'm used to hearing Vincent all the time, but it's going. Nico, I'm not going to leave you on their running backs. Lamar Miller has been beasting out, but he's up against Philly. Philly's got a better defense than the other teams that he's been freaking out on. I bet you're really glad that you didn't trade him now. But see if you can keep up this play against Philly. I know the Dolphins are supposedly new attitude and all that. They have to prove it this week because they lost last week. So.
Also against the Jags, too. Don't forget that. Best team
off of the personal foul, the very end. And then the field.
So bad.
And for Team Opium, Brandon Marshall tonight, and exactly
which Brandon Marshall?
The receiver for the Jets tonight, because both those front sevens, like the teams are going to try to establish the run, but both those front sevens are going to play real tough against them. And the team that's going to win that game, I think, is the team that can pass better. So Brandon Marshall is probably the deadliest receiver out there. Maybe Sammy Watkins will give him a run for the money on the other side of the ball, but if Brandon Marshall can go out there and ball out, then they'll win the game. So I think that he'll be part of the game plan. So you should get some points from him. I have Nico winning this game over the struggling Ben Gomez-owned Team Opium.
Opium's going to win this week. All right, our next matchup, we've got Kyle against Brendan.
Taco Corp.
Anyhow, I've got Langford, Jeremy Langford for Kyle. I traded him away. I didn't think anything was going to happen. And of course, like a week later, Matt Forte goes down. I was telling Johnny earlier, I think they're going to shut him down for the year. I think Langford is going to earn his starting position this week. It might not be astronomical, the numbers he puts up. But I think he's going to look solid against St. Louis. I know they've got one of the best D lines in the league, but I really like Jeremy Langford this week. And then for Brendan, I've got Shane Vereen against his old team in New England. He's had double-digit points the last 2 weeks. He's caught a touchdown each week, and I just see it, continuing. I think that Shane Vereen's going to really tear it up, and I mean Rashad Jennings and Andre Williams suck. So I mean,
it's the only one they got.
Exactly. So yeah, I've actually got Kyle winning this week just because I'm still pissed at Brendan for beating me. So
Kyle, for you, I got Jarrell Casey up against the Panthers this week. They run the ball a lot more than people think. He's a monster up there in that defensive line. He's probably the only good player on that defense, so he should be getting a good amount of tackles for you. Hopefully a sack, maybe a turnover. Really change the tide of this game for you. Hopefully you can find a tight end, right? Hopefully. We both know what's going on, Kyle. You're telling everyone you need a tight end. I'm over here thinking that it's just me and you having a conversation, and all of a sudden, I find out you have 4 other guys in your inbox. Come on, man. For Brendan, Greg Hardy, I want to see how he responds after the Deadspin report came out of all the pictures of him beating the absolute shit out of that woman. I think he's in Tampa Bay, so he's going to be getting booed like crazy, and I want to see how he responds. If I was Greg Hardy, I'd want to ball out just to piss everyone off more. So he can definitely have a big game this week. I have Taco Corp winning in the upset. The Taco Corp is rising. Will they make the playoffs? I mean, probably not, but Brendan's swinging.
I respect you. All right. Our next matchup is going to be me against Dakota. For Dakota, I've got Travis Benjamin against Pittsburgh. I think both Benjamin and Martavis Bryant are going to have huge days. I think it's just going to be a shootout. Everyone's going to be throwing the ball. Just because Le'Veon Bell's out, so they're not going to be really running a whole lot. I mean, D'Angelo Williams has looked all right at times, and then the running backs for Cleveland really aren't that good. I know Johnny's got Duke Johnson, but he doesn't really run the ball a whole lot.
Nope.
So I think
carry a game. I think 3 yards.
I think Travis Benjamin's going to bounce back. He's had 3 consecutive weeks of single-digit points, like 3-4-point games. And I think to start the season, he had 5 or 6 straight weeks of double digits. So I think he bounces back this week. And then for me, I've got Willie Snead against Washington. Drew Brees has been on another planet, which is insane. No one thought that was going to happen. I think Willie Snead's just going to tear it up this week against that secondary. So.
All right. For Dakota, Stephon Diggs. I've sent you a few trades. I've even tried to text you, try to reason with you as a human being to give me Stephon Diggs, but I think he'll take off against Oakland. Teddy, I don't think is really coming to his own as a quarterback yet, and the only bright spot is whenever he finds Stephon Diggs. So I think he's going to keep on just going his way and run him into the dirt and get all the stats for you. For you, Trent, Jeremy Hill. I think tonight or Monday night he will have a big game. Just something on my knees telling me that he's going to have a big day against Houston. J.J. Watt just getting quadruple team. And the rest of that defense isn't any good, so touchdown.
David Clowney, man.
Davion Clowney. That's cute. Dakota, if you fix your lineup, you actually have a good shot at winning. But as it stands right now, you have to go with Trent because his lineup is actually set for the most part.
Great man.
All right. Final game.
Our last matchup, Johnny against Cameron. And for Cameron, I've got LeGarrette Blount against Tennessee. Deion Lewis is out. I mean, they've got James White there, but I just think it's going to be Blount all day. I know he hasn't really been the pass catcher or anything, and that's a high-passing offense, but I definitely think Blount gets more involved in the passing game, gets some check downs, some screens, and I think he just tears it up for the rest of the year. And then for Johnny, I've got Amari Cooper against Minnesota secondary. Love Amari Cooper this year. He's looked very consistent all year long. And I've got Johnny winning it this week.
Oh, man. He thinks higher than I do it myself. That's for sure. Cameron, I got Devin Futchess as my game breaker for you. Last week, he showed that he is an athlete. 3 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown. See if he can do anything this week few more targets, I think, would definitely help him out. But, a touchdown saves you. And my game breaker for myself is anyone on my offense that I had to start because all my guys are injured. Marcus Colston, James White, Chris Polk, Chris Givens. I think you guys are all projected for about 5 points. Just prove them wrong, boys. Prove them wrong. Here we go. All right. Well, that's it for More Football, please. I'd like to thank Trent for making the very long drive out here.
Thanks for having me, John.
Best of luck to everyone this week. Go Falcons. Go Jags, maybe?
No.
No?
Fuck them.
Fuck the Jags.
And the Bulldogs.
And the Bulldogs.
And every other team I like.
Peace.